Something didn't feel right before the game even started. Not on the court, but everywhere else. Because for days leading into this matchup, the conversation around Team USA wasn't about dominance, it wasn't about strategy, it wasn't even about winning. It was about doubt. And all of that doubt was aimed at one person, Caitlin Clark. There were whispers, then debates, then full-blown criticism. She's overrated. The louder those voices got, the quieter Clark became. No interviews, no responses, no reactions, just focus. And that's what made this moment so dangerous. Because when a player like Caitlin Clark stops talking, it usually means something is coming. Something big. The game against New Zealand was suspected, was that it would turn into something else entirely, because from the very first possession, you could feel it. Clark wasn't just playing, she was locked in. The ball reached her hands near half-court. And instead of slowing things down, she pushed forward instantly, faster than usual, sharper than usual, like she had something to prove. The defense stepped up early. They had clearly studied her. They knew about the deep range, they knew about the quick release. They weren't going to give her space. But that's Haitian. Two defenders shift toward her. And in that exact moment, Clark fires a pass across the court so fast, it barely looks real. Corner 3. Splash. The crowd reacts, but Clark doesn't. No celebration, no emotion, just a quick turn and back on defense. That's when you knew this wasn't going to be normal. The next possession was worse. Clark crossed half-court again. The defenders stayed tight this time, too tight. Clark drove right past her. The help defense collapsed, and just as quickly as it formed, Clark broke it apart. Behind the back pass, layup assist. Then another, and another. Within minutes, the entire rhythm of the game had changed. New Zealand wasn't playing their game anymore. They were reacting, and reacting late.
And the most efficient of them all as well. Like I was saying earlier, Caitlin Clark finally thrust into the starting lineup. Monique Billings, Caitlin Clark, Chelsea Gray, Dearica Hamby, Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray with Caitlin Clark? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That ain't it, coach. That ain't it, coach. We got to switch this up. Something needs to change here. Of course, people are finally excited about that. The universe is in alignment now. Cece is starting. Can we please put Paige in this group and take Gray off? Her pace is too slow. This is a terrible lineup. Why start 3 guards? Why start 3 guards? Absolutely. And it's been a rotating lineup. So why are we just sticking with Chelsea Gray in the starting lineup? I don't know. Politics, perhaps? CC hitting the bigs and another midi. Let's take a look right over here. Whoop. Caitlin Clark, nice pass to Monique Billings. Monique finishes at the hoop. And again, people continue to say Caitlin Clark has no mid-range game.
The scoreboard started moving. 10-2, 18-5, 24-8. Timeout. New Zealand's coach stood on the sideline, trying to reorganize everything, pointing, talking, adjusting. But there was a problem. He come inevitable. Back on the court, Clark decided to remind everyone why she's different. She stepped back, way back, far beyond the arc. The defender hesitated for just a sump to their feet. Teammates on the bench couldn't believe it, because shots like that aren't supposed to feel routine, but for her, they do, and that's when something started to shift. Not just in the game, but in the energy. Because every time Clark touched the ball now, the crowd leaned forward, waiting, expecting, knowing something was about to happen. And most of the time, it did. She wasn't just scoring, she was controlling everything. The tempo, the spacing, the flow, the confidence of her teammates. And slowly, something else started happening. The noise around her, the criticism, the doubts, they started fading, because every possession, every pass, every shot was answering those questions without a single word. By halftime, the game was already slipping away from New Zealand. But the real statement came after the break, because that's when Clark stopped playing control and started playing free. She crossed half court. No hesitation. Pulled up from deep. Splash, next possession. Drive. Kick. Sis. Then another. Then another. It wasn't just dominance anymore, it was control. Complete control. New Zealand's players looked exhausted, not physically, mentally. Because guarding Caitlin Clark isn't just about effort, it's about surviving the constant pressure she creates. And by the fourth quarter, that pressure had broken them, the scoreboard made that clear. But the real story was something else.
I don't know. Politics, perhaps? CC hitting the bigs and another midi. Let's take a look right over here. Whoop. Caitlin Clark, nice pass to Monique Billings. Monique finishes at the hoop. And again, people continue to say Caitlin Clark has no mid-range game. All she does is shoot threes. What does she do besides shoot threes? She's got a mid-range game. It's not like she didn't shoot the mid-range in Iowa. Pull up in your face. CC. Defender in jail. Then sidestep midi. Okay, Caitlin. Yeah. Oh yeah, keep her on her hip. Sidestep. Pull up. Again, Caitlin Clark doesn't have a mid-range shot. That's what we've been told. That's what we've been told consistently. All she does is shoot threes. And of course, even early on in the first quarter, Caitlin Clark pulling up from deep, crosses half court, rejects the screen from Monique Billings, step back, pull up, bang. Now, Caitlin Clark today from three, 2 for 7 from three. Missed a couple open opportunities. This could have been a 20-point game. Very easily, Caitlin Clark could have dropped 20. 6 for 11, 2 for 7 from three, 14 points, 6 assists. Easily could have dropped 20 if she hits those 2 threes. Stand out in particular. I think it was the first play of the game. She had a nice look at the three-point shot. And then somewhere in the fourth quarter, she had another very solid look at a three-pointer. Ended up missing them, but still 14-6, solid stat line. Ryan Howard came alive after game 1 as well. 18 points for Ryan Howard. Paige Becker, 7 points for Paige. 3 for 8, 2 for 5 from 3, 1 for 3 from the three-point line for Paige Beckers.
Because as the game ended, and players started walking toward each other, there was a different kind of reaction happening. The same player who had been criticized, doubted, questioned, was now the center of attention, not from fans, from everyone, because when you perform like that, there's nothing left to argue, no debate, no doubt, just recognition. And in that moment, without saying anything, without responding to the noise, without addressing the critics, Caitlin Clark had done something far more powerful. She ended the conversation. Because sometimes the loudest response is silence, followed by performance. And after this game, one thing became very clear. They tried to silence her, but instead, she made sure everyone heard her, loud and clear. What?